Hi guys, it's Ashley from Ashley's Paper Heart, and today we are going to be doing another Junk Journal July spread in my current junk journal. So this is actually going to be the spread for the prompt for day 2 of Junk Journal July, which is highlights. So I kind of took a not completely literal interpretation of the prompt. I kind of wanted to lean more towards kind of what the word highlight means to me, and especially when it comes to social media. All that being said, I am adding some visual representation of the word highlight as well. I put a photo down that I had printed on vellum down on the bottom right corner. It has a nice little sun ray coming through the photo. That's actually a photo I took on one of our hikes around here. It was during the time when we actually had like that 1 week of everything being green and beautiful. And it's the fields out by the Santa Monica Mountains that were just covered in wild mustard flowers, which was absolutely gorgeous. And I wanted to remember that. I'm also cutting up a bunch of this washi tape. I believe it's by Avocado Mori, I think. I know I got it from Nico Neko. It's basically like this long washi tape with irregular circles, and inside each circle there's either something printed in like a silver foil, or it's printed in a not a transparent, opaque white on top of like the transparent white washi tape. So I like this washi tape quite a bit. I like the irregular circles. I think it's kind of cool. And a lot of the little like tiny imagery on or inside the circles is actually very nature related. So I wanted to use a few of these to kind of sprinkle around the spread, especially the ones that have the silver foil outline, because, it kind of lends itself to highlight pretty well. I'm also adding these birds that were sent to me by a dear Instagram friend of mine. She had recently sent me a nice little Happy Mail envelope full of just wonderful goodies, and so I was really on a mission to use some of them. A lot of the stuff she sent was very nature related, so she knew exactly what I like. She definitely tailored it to the things that I'm interested in. So now that we're kind of like got a little bit of the visual description out of the way, I do want to talk a little bit about what my thought process was with the more, I guess, philosophical thoughts of the word highlight. So I I really related it to social media in general, and how social media is a highlight reel. And despite I think most of us knowing that logically, it's really hard to emotionally get that. You know what I mean? I'll explain what I mean, I guess, because I'm not sure if I'm making any sense. Despite me knowing that a lot of social media is very, very curated, it's hard not to, like, when you're scrolling through Instagram or even watching YouTube videos, to think that everyone has this perfect, wonderful life. And then it kind of starts to make you feel bad. Well, why isn't my life perfect and wonderful like everyone else's? And I have to remind myself that even I only show the best parts on social media. I rarely show the days where I'm struggling, or the days where, my kids have driven me up the wall, or, any sort of thing like that. It's it's hard, I think, to let people in, especially strangers, with that realness, with that vulnerability, because there's always a chance of a troll coming by and saying something mean. And when you put yourself out there, when you put out the raw you and the very authentic real you and your experiences, it it's hard to be vulnerable. You know what I mean? It really opens you up to possibly being hurt. But on the flip side, it also opens you up to making real and wonderful deep connections with other humans. So for me, it's a fine balance, and it's something that I have to remind myself to not get hung up on what I perceive as perfection through someone's very curated highlight reel. So I think that's something that we all need to remind ourselves. It's easier to do that when it's a big company showing, their marketing, because we all know that there's models, there's stylists, there's hair and makeup, and we know that it's not real. It's harder when it's individuals putting out a very polished and meticulously staged um, imagery or videos. And yeah, that's basically the gist of what I really wanted to touch on in this spread for myself. So, on this little piece of paper or this little tag, I am going to be writing the words, "Life isn't perfect and social media is just a highlight reel." And I really want to drive that home for myself and for all of you. And I know in some aspects I am just as guilty as anyone else doing the curated social media feed. So I'm here to tell you my life is far from perfect. My kids can drive me crazy some days, and some days I'm tired, and some days I struggle with anxiety or burnout or depression. And, other days I don't have any creativity to give to anyone outside of my job. And I, will just kind of like veg out in front of the TV. Um, I rarely wear makeup. I rarely do my hair. It's always up in a bun. And, life is messy. And that's just the way it is. So I hope that that kind of gives you a little bit of insight into what I was thinking when I was feeling this, or when I was creating this spread, and letting you know that, despite everything, like life is not perfect. Life is not exactly the way that is portrayed on Instagram or even YouTube. Okay, so now we got all that out of the way. Deep breaths, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed watching me create this spread. I hope that this message spoke to you, and if you needed to hear it, that it spoke to your heart and gave you some comfort. So, with all that being said, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up and comment, subscribe, and I am just so happy you're here and you're amazing and awesome. So, please remember that. I'll see you guys later. Bye.